Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go. Hustle hard, hustle every single day. I'll be making moves till I'm buried in my grave. To the system, I don't wanna be a slave. I've been doing shit my way, or the highway. And in the driveway is a nice range. Cause I grind through the climb, I invite pain. You'll never hear me, bitch, nah, I don't complain. Just gotta flip the switch and you can go and obtain anything you want, anything you need. Your mind's got the key ingredient, it's belief. They deceive with the negativity, but I just slide right by that energy. Even when you feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, go.
We are the nation of domination.
What is up? What is up, Eagles Nation? It's your boy Bird Gang 31 in the building. How's everybody doing today? We have another special show today again. We're going to talk some Eagles OTA with the GOAT, Philly 500. How you doing today, my guy?
What's happening, man? How are you? Thanks for
I'm
having
good.
me on.
Hey, thanks for coming. I love when you're on the show, man. You know, it's always good to talk with one of the best about our favorite team, the Philadelphia Eagles. And no, Philly 500 wasn't late. He was actually on time.
Yeah, come
We
on,
were
Chopper.
just
I'm
talking
always
a little
late.
bit, chatting it up a little bit, but it wasn't his fault this time. You can pin it on BG, that's for sure. So, how you been, man?
I've been good, man. Been busy. I feel like, man, you think about like the season we had, then the Super Bowl, and it was like a week later, it's like free agency, then the draft. Like it's just been one continuous season. I'm busy, but I'm good, man. I'm excited. I'm ready. I'm ready for the season to begin.
All right, let's talk about it then. OTAs, draft, you know, mix it all in together. I know the draft was a minute away, but we got a lot of
Right.
new players. How do you feel about everything together, the players we brought to the team, and how the
I
Eagles
think
looking right now?
I actually think we're better than we were a year ago. And maybe some of that will take a little while to show itself. But I would say this: I think we're better built than we were a year ago. Like
Mhm.
we've got a lot less 1 year guys, and we've got guys that are going to be foundational pieces, guys that are going to be here for a while. So I think this team is actually better than they were a year ago. I think the offense is actually better than it was a year ago. I think the defense is younger and got a lot more upside than it did a year ago, and
Mhm.
I couldn't be more happy, man.
Yeah, it's looking good right now. It's looking good. Another one of these unbelievable seasons is, you know, and it's in the works. It's coming again. We're running that
Yep.
stuff back this year. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? We're going back to the promised land. We're gonna finish the business this time, man. Let's talk about it. You know, the Eagles went heavy, Georgia, obviously. You know,
Yep.
tell me who so far is really like, you know, I like this cat. You know what I'm saying? Who's that? I like this cat. They're all good, you know, but is it Jalen Carter? Is it Nolan Smith? You know, Who is that guy for you right now? In this draft?
I
This year's
like them
draft?
all. I like them
Right?
all. I even like Ringo. What are you kidding? I think from the rookie class, we'll say from the Georgia guys. I think Jalen Carter is going to be the talk of training camp. I think he's going to make such an impact, dude. I mean, the last time I think I was on your show was before the draft, and
Yeah.
me and you we were on the
Bijan.
Bijan. Hey, and listen, I didn't
Look
know.
out.
To me, it was like there was not a million. To me, there was no way in a million years that Bijan Robinson was going before Jalen Carter. I never ever thought that would happen. But when we talked, I had Jalen Carter as my second best player overall in the whole entire draft. So the fact that they got him, it just worked out to be perfect.
Wait. Before you go on, tell me if you think that if Atlanta doesn't pick Bijan and say both were on the board, do you think the Eagles would have got him? I still believe people are like, no. I think if they were both on the board, Eagles would have still got him.
I think Jalen Carter was the apple of their eye. Like I thought they wanted him initially all along. Like I will say this: let's say Atlanta took Jalen Carter. If Atlanta takes Jalen Carter, I believe Bijan Robinson is an Eagle right now.
But you think Carter had the advantage the whole time?
Yeah, I think Carter was ranked higher. I mean, if it was me, and like I said, if I was going by my draft board, I had Bijan Robinson 3, I had Carter 2, so I would have taken Carter also. I just can't believe he was there, and I got to tell you, I was surprised Atlanta took Bijan. I didn't think they would. I thought they were going to take Carter, and then when they took Bijan Robinson, I was like, oh my gosh. Carter's going to get to 9, and Chicago's going to screw us right now. I really thought they were going to get screwed. We were going to get screwed, and I didn't want to lose both the guys. So once we traded up and we got Jalen Carter, I couldn't be more happy. I think we got the guy that they wanted all along.
Yeah. See, that's the debate. It's over, but I still think the Eagles won it because how he was like, I want an impact player. And like in terms of impact, which one's more? We talked about it, running back right now for our team or defensive tackle. And for me, it was definitely running back in terms at that time. I think we only had Penny at that time.
There were only 2 guys I'm taking over. I was taking over Bijan, and that was Carter and the other kid, Will Anderson Jr. Those were I had Will Anderson 1, Carter 2, Bijan 3. So to me, it worked out. I'm happy.
Who do you think, is going to make the biggest impact year one out of the draft picks?
Jalen Carter. I think Jalen Carter. But here's what you have to watch, too, because I think the day 2 picks could both end up starting. You think you got Steen and then you got Sidney Brown. I think they both have an opportunity to play and start. But I think at the end of the day, I think Jalen Carter makes the most impact. But I think we could end up where 3 of our 4 first picks end up starting and playing this year.
Yeah. Well, I know they're going to play. I'm trying to decide who's going to play the most. Like you look at it and it's like Jalen Carter. Is he going to start beginning of the season? Probably not. It's probably going to be Jordan.
Yeah, he's starting. I think he's starting. It's going
to be Jordan and Fletch first week 1.
I think Jalen Carter starts day 1.
Over who?
It'll probably be Carter and Fletcher Cox.
Think so? You think Jordan Davis is going to take a back seat?
It might be Carter and Davis.
Yeah.
I could see that too. I don't think Carter's like I think Carter is I think he's a player. I think he comes in. I got him having 9.5 sacks this year. I think rookie year 9.5 sacks.
Dang.
So he's got to start to get that.
And the only thing I disagree with that is because I think this guy right here, Mr. Jordan Davis, he said he definitely knows what's expected and he's ready to go ahead and reach those expectations. Yeah, and I think that's what people are really sleeping on. The sexy picking Carter.
Well, that's why I think both of them could end up starting. I think you might have them both start, and Fletcher Cox might rotate in.
But I'm just saying he beat our lead dog this year. Like when you think who's going to be the lead DT this year, there's always one. Last year it was Hargrave. Who's going to be at this year?
How many sacks do you think Jordan Davis is capable of?
Double digit.
Double digit?
You know why?
That
The
would be
same
amazing.
reason why we wanted him from last year. He didn't play. He got redshirted last year, basically. You know,
Yep.
he's mentally, sound now. He understands what it takes to be a pro. He got the advantage of going to the Super Bowl his first year. I remember him talking about that. His first year, that's pretty hard to do, but you already know what it takes to get back there. You know what it takes. So he took this whole offseason. They say he came back in looking great, and his size and speed and ability, all those things we craved about before. Now you add a little bit of experience to that. You know what I'm saying? Now he's heard the haters talking about, oh, he can't play 3 downs. He can't play 3 downs. So he's
No,
actually
no.
trained for it,
Right.
all off season long. So I think he's coming back hungry. He know they signed Jalen Carter. He's like, hey, you're not about to come here. He's a first round pick too.
Yeah.
13th pick overall. He's like, you're not about to come just take my playing time.
Yeah.
And I think Jordan Davis can do it just from that. Like we call him a freak of nature. We say he's so big, he's so fast. That's like, and you don't see that around the league. So what makes you think a motivated Jordan Davis, can't come in here and destroy the league? I think
I think he
one of the
can.
greats, man. Like,
I mean, you look at him and you look at. I don't know if you've seen the OTA videos, but I was watching him take. I mean, him off the ball, off the snap, is fast. Like he is fast right now. He looks like he's in great shape, and that's the whole thing with Jordan Davis. It ain't about talent. When people say, "Oh, he can't play 3 downs," you can't have a guy that is that athletic and that talented and tell me he can't play 3 downs. The thing with Jordan Davis, he's got to be in shape. He wasn't in shape last year. He's in shape now. So I agree with you. Like you're not going to get any argument from me on how good he can be. I think you're in a situation where you have 2 guys that can both be great, and I would not be surprised if both of them start and they don't, they try to keep Fletcher Cox snaps down because he complained last year where he thought he was getting too many snaps. He may want to have limited snaps already. So don't be surprised if both those guys start.
Yeah, that'd be nice. That'd be like I think that's like the end all. You hope you might start a Fletcher Cox early just to make sure you have your stability there. And Flex wants to play. Flex wants to win rank. You know what I'm saying? He played pretty good last year. Considering all details, he didn't get the double-digit sacks, but he had like 5, something like that, around the 5 marks. That's still pretty good. He always going to stop the run. And I see how people, they say like, Davis is a run stopper. He is. That's big, but that's just his size. You know what I'm saying? Like he's going to get double teamed every single down. He's going to get, triple teamed someplace. And I still think that he's big enough man now. And he got put on his butt a couple times last year. He understands what he had to do this year. And I think he determined one. His mom's an Eagle fan. His mom was probably getting in his ear all year long. Baby, you got to play more than that.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? You got to play more than that. So
yeah, I'm sure.
But out of the rookies, I love Nolan Smith, man. That guy is bringing a whole nother energy that, like to me, he's just bringing this whole nother energy, just young, playful, but serious energy to the Eagles team. And like he talks shit, you know what I'm saying? He don't care what he says. He's pretty free spoken. You know what I'm saying? He don't care where he's at. I like that cat. And I really think that, when you look at it, you're probably like, he's not going to get that much PT because he plays the same position as Reddick, right? And I'm saying 3-4 all day. Put Reddick and him on each end. You know what I'm saying? You can move Davis and Fletch Cox, as a defensive end. You can play 3 DTs on a front line with those beats. Think of it's Jordan Davis freaking in the middle with Fletcher Cox and, Carter coming off the end. That can help with the run and also put some pressure on the pass too. So
yeah, no, I like him too. I think it's going to be very interesting to see how they use him. But I'm definitely high on him too, man. I think it was a great pick.
New additions. Who you like him the
DeAndre
most?
Swift.
Agent Zero.
Agent Zero. I think that was exactly what we were talking about Bijan. They answered that when they got DeAndre Swift. And Swift, if he can stay healthy, in my opinion, he gives your whole offense a whole new dimension with his ability to catch out of the backfield. If he stays healthy, I think he's a top 5 running back this year.
Yes, easily. I think he could get way more. Yeah, he can be a first, all pro this year. Because if Miles Sanders made it to a Pro Bowl, I seen a lot of film from last year, and I seen those holes were so big for him. Like, he was just running free. You get a guy like Swift, man, he can do the exact same thing, if not better, for sure. And plus, you're talking about the passing game. He's going to open up the passing game. He looked good on those little, Texan routes you see them doing in practice. Like, yeah, okay. He looked
Yep.
quick. He looks fast. He's motivated. I didn't even know that he was from Philly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Until he got here. I didn't know when
Yeah.
I watched. I was like trying to look up some highlights of him, and then really check him out. Deep into it, and they showed his like recruitment. Video that he had the whole city of Philadelphia behind him. Like, I didn't know he was that popular in Philadelphia already.
Yeah.
So that's extra motivation. You know what I'm saying? Like, he already got hella people that's coming to see him. And then he's a Georgia boy. You don't think he's been at the last 2 Georgia championships? You know what I'm saying? Like, he's been there. He's from Georgia. They're all on the sideline during those games. So there's extra motivation that can even take his game to the next level. The Eagles definitely built this team right.
And he's in the final year of a contract, so he wants to get paid.
Contract year too. Didn't think about that one.
Yep.
He wants to get paid, and you can't get hurt when you want to get paid. Who do you think is going to be that number 2? Like, I know it's going to be like by committee, but it's going to be. I feel like it's going to be more like Miles Sanders by committee. Where
I think I think it'll be Swift, Penny, Gainwell, Scott. That's how I think the depth chart will look.
I think Gainwell's going to push Penny for the 2 spot.
That would be interesting. The way I see it with Penny, like, I think Penny can give you that third, those short yardage situations, those goal line situations. He's a little bigger, and I think the fact that he's been hurt so much that if they can keep his, him being a second back now and not the lead back, it should keep him fresher too. So I actually think they're deeper at the running back position than they were a year ago, and I think they have a whole new element with Swift's ability to catch out of the backfield.
Mm-hmm. Who do you think? Which school's players do you think is a bigger impact for this year's Eagles team? The Georgia Bulldogs with all those defensive players, Carter, Davis, Dean, Ringo.
That's tough.
Smith, or you go on offense with the Alabama, Landon, Devontae, Jalen. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is a pickle to be in. Who do you think? Which school?
I have to go for this year.
People talk about Georgia a lot.
I have to go Alabama. You got Jalen Hurts. You got Jalen Hurts, right? He's the most valuable player on your team. Then you have Landon Dickerson, who I think is going to be one of the top left guards in the NFL. And then I tell everybody Devontae Smith's going to be a top 5 wide receiver this year. He is going to have a monster year. So I got to go Alabama because those guys are all what, 3 years in, and they're ready to go.
Tyler Steen, forgot about him. If he plays, if he starts this year too, that'd be another one.
Yeah, we like Alabama on offense, Georgia on defense.
Yeah,
can't go wrong. Smart.
But you say Alabama's a bigger impact.
Well, yeah, because I think you look at, you have Jalen Carter first. He's a rookie. Ringo, rookie. You have Davis, second-year guy. Jacoby Dean, second-year guys. But then you look at what Hurts, 4 years in. Devontae, third year. Landon Dickerson, he's third year. So those guys are ready to go. So I would have to say, Alabama.
That's nice. I was thinking about that. I was like, they're doing this Philly dog stuff, they're really pushing that, and that's cool and all, but we got a lot of players the last couple of drafts, but
the Eagles tied, right? What do you call Eagles tied?
Eagles tied, the Elephants, the Philadelphia Elephants. You know what I'm saying? Like, these guys are out there because I was like, man, Jalen's bigger than everybody. Really, you think about it, like he trumps it.
Devontae is the guy everybody needs to watch out for. Devontae Smith is going off. He's underrated right now. Like, I think he's one of the most underrated receivers right now in the national.
Where are you putting him? Top 10. Where are you putting him?
5.
5. Where's AJ then?
Like 8. He's going to be better. He's going to be better this year. I think Devontae Smith's going to be better this year.
So you think Devontae is better than AJ?
Yeah. And that's not taking anything away from AJ Brown. I just think Devontae Smith is that guy, man. And I think he's overlooked. Yeah.
Like, I think he gets props, and he does get props. Last year was an amazing season. He broke the record in receptions. Yeah. AJ broke the record in yards. It's like, but AJ had number 1s all year. Devontae's still going to have number 2s this year for the most part.
I think when you look at like going into the season, I would put AJ. Like right now, you have to put AJ Brown above Devontae Smith. But I'm saying when the season's over, Devontae Smith will be the better receiver. He's going to have. I think he's going to be top 5 wide receiver in the whole NFL by the time the season's up.
Okay, so you're saying that so he's gonna lead the team in receptions and yards, or he's just gonna leave
It'll
the
be
team in
close.
yards?
It'll be close in yards. It'll be close in yards.
How many touchdowns you think he's getting this year?
10.
10 touchdowns, double digit.
Yep. I think Devontae Smith. I think they really started using Devontae Smith the right way at the end of the year. If you look early in the year, he got a lot of short routes, short passes, quick wide receiver screens. By the end of the year, it was a lot of intermediate and deep routes. And I just think Devontae Smith has the better hands, and I think he's a better route runner. I think AJ Brown's more physical, and I think he's better yards after the catch. They're a great complement to each other.
Perfect compliment.
Yeah. But I'm a huge Devontae Smith guy.
I love Smitty. Smitty's tight.
Yeah.
But I just then I love AJ too. It's like he brings
I do too.
A whole nother element. Like he's like you said, a TO style. Like give me the ball, I'm gonna run somebody over. I'm gonna take it to the house. But they said last year, that's why it was the best season for him, because we used him a little different. We actually started getting him a deep ball. That's what he didn't have. No one really seen a lot of that in Tennessee.
Yep.
It's more of the slant steer, and we started hitting him on those deep balls. He likes it. He made some pretty amazing catches too himself. Like he had some nice catches last year. But yeah, we definitely got where are you ranking the tandem?
Number one
in the league.
Yeah, and I'm talking specifically if we're judging how I think it's going to end up at the end of the year. If you want to say going into the season, maybe 2 or 3, that's fine. But I think by the end of the year, they're the number one tandem. I think going into the year, you could put AJ Brown ahead of Devontae Smith. I think by the end of the year, it'll be flipped.
Give me the other two. Give me 2 more teams that got a good tandem.
Miami.
Miami, the Waddle and Hill. Woo!
Yeah,
that's scary.
Yeah,
that's really scary. But like you said, in terms of like complementing each other, we definitely have the better one because they're like kind of almost the same.
Right. Person. I think we have the better complement because you have 2 different receivers, totally different type of receivers, right? You have one physical, yards after the catch, big, and then you have the better hands and great route runner.
They said Devontae looks like Marvin Harrison, basically what they're talking about.
Yeah, I could see that.
I can see that comparison. I can see that comparison.
Too. I agree.
And Marvin had a Hall of Fame career. I think they're both Hall of Famers.
Oh yeah.
If you gotta pay one of them though to keep on the team, who you keeping?
Devontae. He's younger. He's younger. He's younger, and he was drafted by. I mean, like this is like saying like which child you love more. You know what I'm saying? Like it's you love them both. But I'm just like Devontae Smith's like my favorite player in the whole NFL. Like that's how much I like the guy. So I just think that when he was coming out, all the people just trashing him about how he's too small, he'll never play a full season. So I'm just a big Devontae Smith guy, and I think he has the ability to just like with his hands and his route running to be scary, man. I think he's going to have a couple 200-yard games this year. I think he's going to have that kind of year. I really do.
And I think it's because of what you said. Going into the year, everybody considers AJ number one. You know what I'm saying? Like they consider him the top dog. Like he didn't even go to the Pro Bowl last year, didn't he? They let AJ, not him, go. And he put up some nice numbers.
I think that I don't remember how I don't know because
I think he was the alternate.
He might have been. Well, he led the team in receptions. He had 95 catches, and then AJ Brown had 88, but he had more yards. So I think it'll be something probably similar like that because the thing with AJ Brown is he gets yards after the catch. You know what I mean? You could throw a 5-yard slant and he's going to carry guys 10 yards. So I think he'll have more yards than Devontae, but I think Devontae will still have more receptions.
Yeah. And Devontae want to be number one, I think. I think he feels it. That's like something that's on his chest a little bit. I kind of feel it, whenever they're talking about the connection. It's like he gives AJ Love. He's like, yeah, he's my dog, but like I'm still me. Okay, like I'm the man. Like
Yeah.
this is my team type
Yeah,
situation. So
yeah.
he's
They're both great. They really are. They're both best wide receiver Eagles tandem I've ever seen.
ever. Yeah.
I ever.
Macklin and Deshaun.
Macklin and Deshaun were good, but Deshaun was never considered him a number one receiver. Like this is two legit number one wide receivers. Deshaun was a deep threat. Deshaun wasn't. I don't view.
He made a lot of. How many Pro Bowls Deshaun made on our team? Like,
oh, he did a lot, and he was also he would go for multiple positions, but I don't see Deshaun Jackson as a. I don't see him as a like overall wide. I think Deshaun Jackson was the best, maybe the greatest deep threat to ever play.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But
for sure.
But I think Devontae Smith and AJ Brown, I think they're both more complete.
Okay, I can't hate on that. Do you want? Would you sign Deshaun Jackson back this year?
No,
just to be your punt returner.
No, I don't think he'd make it a week
and take the ride.
No, because I don't think he'd make a week. I think he would pull a hamstring.
It'd
be like this. It'd be like one punt. Oh, he's out again. Remember when he was back with us? He got hurt, and then
when he played, he had like 20-yard gains.
He just gets hurt too much. I don't think he'll stay healthy. I would sign Deshaun Jackson to a one-day contract, let him retire, and that's it.
Punt return in the playoffs. How about that?
If he wants to just do that, we could give him a chance, but I still think he'll pull a hamstring or groin. I just think he's too old. We got to find somebody younger.
Yeah, he wouldn't be nothing on the offense. He'd just be the punt returner. Just to say, special moments, or what I'm saying. I think if he was just punt returner, not receiver, he can probably take at least 2 to the house throughout the season, 2 or 3 of them.
If he could, I just don't know he can stay healthy. That I don't want to go through that again. I was so frustrated when the last time when he came back, he just was never played. I just think that he can't stay healthy. I would just let him retire with us, and just find somebody else.
Find somebody else who you want as punt returner.
I don't know. I don't know. I think Howie Roseman should be looking at all the rosters. I think he should be looking at the practice squads and see if he's anybody that's young, that has potential that we can bring in. If I can't find anybody, I guess they're going to give Covey a try, but otherwise, Boston Scott kickoffs are basically worthless now. So so I ain't worried about kickoff returns, but punt returns I'm worried about. I mean, kickoffs you could kick the ball off, the guy could fair catch it at the 1 and it goes at a 25. It's not even worth kickoff returns anymore. So you just need a punt returner who I don't know, but I would like to find somebody. And if I can't find anybody, you can give Covey a chance, or at worst, you just let Boston Scott do it. And that
maybe Devin Allen, where's he at? What's he been doing? Has he got his football body back yet?
No, he's running track right now. He hasn't even been at OTA. He's been doing his track meets.
Oh,
but I don't know why maybe they don't think he can do it. I want to see more Devin Allen this year.
What about this, 500? How would you feel about this? Jalen Hurts on the cover of Madden Football. What are they trying to do to our quarterback?
I don't want it.
What are they trying to do?
I totally believe in that curse.
Yes.
I don't want it.
I don't want so much recently like it used to be. I remember
the game sucks
every single year it happened. Like early too. You boom.
The game sucks though. Out. Like Madden's gone. It sucks now. I can't stand playing it. So I don't want him. Just stay away from it. I'm okay with the Eagles doing Hard Knocks, but I don't want him on the cover of Madden.
That would suck. Not even the backup cover either. They don't even put him on the game. Only on the Eagles team. That's it. Or MET, man. What do you think? If you could rate Jalen Hurts, what would it be? Like a real, I would say 100, obviously. But a Madden
rating?
Yeah.
98, 97, 98, something like that.
What more do you think Jalen has to prove? Like, what's the next step for you? Like, what do you think his ceiling is like, even for the season the overall season. Like his ceiling is
Like
he went from here to here, and this is where I really expect him to be.
my thing, the only thing I think Jalen Hurts has to prove at this point is consistency, right? Like elite quarterbacks are quarterbacks that do it year in and year out for multiple years. That's all he has to do. I know he can win a Super Bowl. I think he can win an MVP, and I think he can do all that stuff. So to me, he showed me how good he can be. He just got to keep doing it, and I think he will. I mean, I think he could be MVP this year. I said this in the last video. I think Jalen Hurts is going to throw about 31 to 32 touchdowns, run for another 10, have about 4,500 yards passing, and I think he probably has a really good chance to win the MVP.
Yeah, I think this year Jalen Hurts take over the number one spot in quarterback. Like, because a lot of people, I say he is now. I think personally, I did my quarterback list. Jalen Hurts number one to me.
You have him number one.
Yeah, I have number one.
I can't put him number one. I can't put him
over Patty.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Over Patty.
No, I would love to, and he
brings
get there.
More of a dimension to the team. Team, he's like more of an influence on the team's winning. Patrick Mahomes, I feel like he does. He's the lead rusher and the lead passer. You know, he's efficient in both. Like he doesn't turn over the ball very much. Patty throws interceptions. You know, winning percentage is about the same. Yeah, Patty has the best coach of all time. You know what I'm saying? In Big Red, Jalen got Nick Sirianni second year. You know, head coach where he's working. He's not saying he's bad. I love Nick, but he's no Andy Reid yet. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I have to put
more on Jalen than it is on Patty.
I have to put Mahomes one because Mahomes got 2 Super Bowls. Mahomes also lost his best receiver and didn't have the biggest name receivers and still put up monster numbers.
He had good receivers. What are you talking about?
He lost Tyreek Hill. All right, that was a huge. A lot of people said that when he lost Hill, he wasn't going to be the same. And he went out and he still put up monster numbers. And he's got 2 Super Bowls. I just can't take it away from the guy.
Travis Kelce's the best. It was always been his number one target. So even when they lost Hill, they had that young dude. They still had Pringle. They had Hartman. They had Juju, who was, Juju was a Pro Bowler before. I think people hate on Juju a little bit too much. And I am a little biased. I'm a USC fan. But Juju is pretty good. I watched Juju play, in college.
I hate Juju.
I love him. He's my
bad
boy.
Juju for Juju.
But I'm not saying it. And then you're coaching. So I just think all those little extra things made it. And then Pacheco, no one knew Pacheco was going to be a beast at running back like he was. He helped out too. So it's like he had players that he just had. Like the Eagles made it to playoffs with no receivers before. You know what I'm saying? Like if the players that are playing do their job and catch the damn ball, that's all you really need at the end of the day. You could be a fifth string receiver. We gave love to guys like Greg Ward. We gave love for what's his name? Fulham. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And these guys weren't really good. They just caught the ball and made plays when they needed to make plays. And I say that was one thing, but then you got to put that on the coaching too of why these young guys were able to, step up. They had a rookie too, Sky Moore, I think it was. These young guys going there and they just made the play. Yes, is he one of the best throwers of all time? Like Aaron Rodgers times 10 because he does backyard stuff that none of us even dream about doing in real life. You know what I'm saying? I'd be like, what the hell? What was that? What was that? Yeah. He is that guy. But that is one. No one's really worried about Patty Mahomes running the football. At the end of the day. No one's worried about that. Yes, he got – and Travis Kelce's one of the best tight ends ever.
Yeah,
he's working on a Hall of Fame type career. So, I don't know. No, Jalen's did it with what? Devontae Smith, Rager. He never threw no 5,000 yards, but you got to add his rushing yards too, and the whole impact of the game. That's my argument.
He's got to do it multiple years.
And he's the leader.
For me to put him over Mahomes, he's got to add. I need 3-4 years of what he did last year. Mahomes already won at least one MVP, 2 Super Bowls, and he's been doing it multiple years. So that's what Hurts needs to do. That's what I'm saying. Hurts just needs to go out and keep doing what he's doing, and he'll be fine. But I mean. I don't want to argue when you're saying he's number one. I would love.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to get you to say. He is.
I would absolutely love it. He's number one.
Jalen freaking Hurts.
I love Hurts. I do. So I want him to be number one. But man, if I had to be honest, Mahomes, I gotta put Mahomes at one.
Do you think the Eagles have the most top 5 at their position players than any other team in the league? You know what I'm saying? Like, think
Let's
about
see.
it. Jalen Hurts won. Landon Dickerson's won.
Yeah.
Lane Johnson, Kelsey, like they're top 5 in their
Uh-huh. Yeah.
stuff. Like who do you think we have the most out of any team?
Yeah, well, you have quarterback, you have guard, you have right tackle, you have center. Those are definite, right? I think you got 2 wide receivers that could arguably be in that. I think you have a top 5 tight end. Then defensive side of the ball, Hassan Reddick's got to be a top 5. I think your corners, at least one of those corners are top 5.
Both of them.
Yeah, if not both of them.
Yeah.
And then yeah, you probably do. You probably have the most top 5s. Thinking about it like that, yeah, you probably do.
Then way too early, just off expectations. What did you say last year they were going to go? When we talked.
I think I had the Eagles 12-5 last year.
12-5. I think that's what it was. And then they went 14-3.
Yeah.
This year, way too early, because the team can even be better before we kick off. But way too early. After seeing the schedule, strength of schedule, are you a big component of, oh my God, the schedule's that much harder?
No.
Because if you really look at it, it's because our 2 other teams in our division went to the playoffs. We got to play them.
No, I don't feel that way at all. I have them 14 wins right now.
Yes.
And I have the last game is just a throwaway game. That's the only reason we lose that last game is because we're going to have everything clinched. We're going to be sitting our starters, and it'll be a nothing game. So yeah, I think 14 wins at least.
I got us 15-2.
I'll take it.
One more. I think we're one more game better than last year. Because some of those teams that we think are good, they're not as good. They lost players, things like that. When you're going off of records of last year, most times that's what you're doing. A lot of these teams lost a lot of players. We got the best quarterback in the division, hands down. We got the best team in the NFL.
Right. And 2 of those losses came with stink shoe.
Yeah.
You don't lose to Dallas if Hurts plays. And you don't
be
lose
16-1.
And you don't lose in New Orleans. So yeah, I'm with you.
16-1. Imagine if we would have won. Well, I guess we still had to win the big game. So who do you think's way too early matchup that you would like to see the Eagles play the Super Bowl? Do you want a rematch?
Rematch. I that's my prediction. It's going to be Kansas City Eagles rematch.
Yes. What about Lamar?
And we're going to win.
You think Lamar try to step up his game this year? Now he got paid.
I think he can. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big Lamar Jackson fan. So yeah, I think he can. He did get some weapons. He got Odell Beckham Jr. So yeah, I think he could. But I still have Kansas City Eagles rematch.
I want a rematch too. Yeah,
I do too.
I want to because I just want to beat Big Red, man.
The thing is if they don't call that flag. And I'm not going to argue whether it was a flag or not. But if the Eagles if they had that one, if Jalen Hurts had time, if he had a minute 34, minute 46, whatever was left on the clock, and he's down 3, we win that game. We would have won that game. Yeah, I have no doubt if he had one more drive, we don't win that whole thing. We were going to win. Yeah. Whoever got the ball last one is basically going to win that game.
Yeah, that's true. That game was exciting. We should have won the game in the second quarter. That should have been done deal. Gannon sucks, and I'm so happy.
Gannon's the worst, dude.
So
I hate that guy.
Do you think it could be, grass is not greener on the other side type situation this year with our DC decide? Because the Eagles really wanted the dude that went to Miami that was here with us last year.
Yeah. I know. I can't think of his name right now. But yeah, no, I hear you.
Fangio.
But no.
Big Fangio.
Yeah. I think I don't know. It sounds like Desai is going to be a lot better. But I want a defensive coordinator that applies more pressure and doesn't just sit back and react. Jonathan Gannon pisses me off. So I'm willing to give Sean Desai a chance because he's not Jonathan Gannon.
would it be a failure if he's not as good? I feel like Gannon did benefit because to hate on him completely. Like, I can't say Gannon's trash. You know what I'm saying? Like
He's
I won't,
trash. I say
I
he's
won't go that
trash.
far because
I think he's
he
trash.
also helped produce the greatest defense we ever had. We never
That
had a better
wasn't the
defense.
greatest. That wasn't the
What
greatest
defense
defense
was better than
though.
that? No, we never
The
had that many sacks before.
91
We-
Eagles were the better
How many
defense.
sacks they have? 500.
It was like in the 50s.
Exactly. We were in.
Yeah,
If you
but
count the
they were
playoffs, the 80s.
they were but first of all, you were in a league that didn't throw nearly as much. You threw half the amount of time that you throw now, and you were number one on pass defense. You're number one on rush defense. Nobody ran for 100 yards on you, and you gave up like in the teens points scored when teams would have like 40 minutes of possession. That defense, the 91 defense, is not only the greatest Eagles defense. To me, it's the best one of the best defenses to ever play in the National Football League. So,
Yeah.
they were better. But Gannon, I mean Jonathan Gannon, they had a lot of sacks. It wasn't because of Gannon. That was because of the talent. Gannon could have had 10 more sacks if he would have put pressure on teams and blitz.
But you can't tell me you haven't seen other great defenses suck because of their coordinator. You know what I'm saying? Where the players they should have had. Look at even sometimes with Dallas, they should be a number one best defense
It's
ever,
like,
but the coordinator's not that good.
do you remember the head coach for the Cowboys, Barry Switzer?
Yeah.
He was a horrible coach. He stunk. But the Cowboys were so good that they were able to win a Super Bowl despite them. They were that talented. I think the Eagles' defense was that talented last year that Gannon got away with a lot of stuff because when he had to make the adjustments in the Super Bowl in the second half when it mattered, he couldn't do it.
Again, also went to the Cards. Yeah, and I get it. Like, and I get what people are saying too. It was the players, not him, and I get it. But if you inherit good players, it makes your job that much easier. There was still
it does.
some times where the defense had to lock down where he had to make the right call. There was a couple of games where he got pretty tight, where he did have to. Yes, the players made the play, but he was putting them in some pretty.
Well, what did you think about like all the times that Gannon had quarterbacks throw like 85% completion percentages against him and higher, and he would just do nothing? Like, what do you think about the whole second half of that Super Bowl? We didn't get a punt. We didn't stop them at all. The whole second half.
I feel like the players bombed the Super Bowl, to be honest.
I feel like that was getting the players didn't know what was going on. Did you see how confused they looked? Remember when Juju Smith walked in and they didn't even know where to line up? Gannon did nothing. And then they said that in the locker room after the game, he was all smiles and happy and everybody else was sad because he knew he was taking a coaching job. I don't like the guy, dude. I don't like him.
I'm not saying I loved him. I'm just saying that was one of the most exciting defenses.
It was a good defense. It was really good defense that got a lot of sacks. But no, dude, that Eagles defense,
interceptions, and then we were pretty high on points too, like points against and yards against, all that stuff too. Pretty good last year. Like,
we did good.
Kind of, yeah. But also, I think that decide if that's the case, our defense should be even better. We should break the record this year. We should.
Be more dominant. It can be right. I mean, you did lose C.J. Gardner-Johnson and you did lose Hargrave, but you got young guys, I think, to replace them. So those guys will be fine in the long run.
How big of an impact do you think C.J. was, considering we won without him? You know what I'm saying? Like, was it really C.J. last year? Or was it the players around him? Remember, he missed like 5 games and we won.
That's what we're going to find out.
Blankenship looked good. You know what I'm saying out there?
Yeah,
but you got all these Pro Bowlers around you doing their things at a high level. I think the safety position was one that I wasn't even really worried about in the beginning. Yeah. It's just like when you got all them corners we got, and now we even got more corners this year. Greedy's over there. You know what I'm saying? You got Ringo over there to fight for playing time. I heard that even McPherson is pushing Maddox for the slot position. So that's crazy. Maybe he's finally developed and ready to play some football. It's like, that's crazy to know that your safeties don't really have to be that great, but they can look really good.
We'll see how they do. I think it's yet to be determined. We'll see.
Well, is that the biggest weakness? What do you think the biggest weakness on the team so far, right now?
Yeah, I would say safety is probably. I don't even call it a weakness. I call it biggest unknown. I would say biggest unknown. I actually really like the young linebackers. Like I'm a lot higher on the linebackers than a lot of people are, so I think they're going to be fine. I think the weakest position is actually the return game, special teams.
Yes,
That's where we're the weakest.
that is the weekend, the return game. Boston Scott's good for kickoff. I like.
Yeah,
I think when he got in, we actually looked like a normal team. At least we're not the most explosive return team, but you can't be
right.
perfect in everything. You had like the best
No,
defense, best offense. Yeah, you can
right.
be middle of the pack with the return game. I want to see us get a big time returner though. Like if we could just find one. I remember I wanted the dude on Atlanta, Patterson, before he signed
Cordell
his
Patterson.
contract. I
Yeah,
wanted Cordell on the team. He could have helped with running backs,
yeah.
receiver, return game. We need like one of them type cats.
Well,
What do you think?
yeah. Go
Go
ahead. What
ahead.
were you gonna say?
No, go ahead. What you used to say?
I was going to say the thing is now is that now you're only just talking about punt returner. They've pretty much negated the whole kick returner for kickoffs. It's useless. So you just need a punt returner. I think they really like Covey, but I'm with you. I would have liked to see Cordell. I think the Eagles, if they had a better punt returner, dude, they would score even more points because you know how many
Facts.
times they start in their own like way back and had it go on huge long drives. Can you imagine if you could cut that down with better field position?
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. That'd be way awesome. She said, "Oh yeah, King of Cap. Go get your Howie King of Cap shirts, guys. Look, I
There
got
you
mine
go.
on. Look at that.
There
The
you go.
Matrix
I love it.
background.
Look
Howie
at that. I'm gonna have to get me one of them.
Get you one. I get you. Hey, I get you
I have
50% off, big dog.
I'll have to get one.
I got you. You know what I'm saying? As long as you just wear it in one of your shows, big dog. We
I'll
good.
wear it. Yeah. Oh yeah.
But okay, so we are talking about running backs. Who do you want to see emerge as a second tight end?
Oh, man, that's a good question because I do like Calcaterra, right? I think he's got talent. But dude, I still think about Tyree Jack. I know this is
Oh no,
I
man.
still think Tyree Jackson has a
No, he
lot of
didn't.
athletic ability. And I
I
want to
lost
see what he
hope on
can
him.
do. I want to see what he does in training camp. This is his last shot, by the way. If he doesn't do anything,
How many
then I'm
years has he
done.
been here? Like 5 years? It
It's
feels
only
like.
no, it's only going to be his third year. I think it's only
Feels like
third year.
5.
He
He only
got
played
hurt.
what? 3 games.
Yeah, he got hurt. And then last year he wasn't healthy. You know, he was coming off that injury. But this year he should be better. And I don't know, man. I know that kid's very athletic and he's got a lot of raw ability. And I want to see him healthy on the field and see what he's learned over the last few years.
I was
And
on
if
his,
not him, Calcaterra.
I was on his train for first year, and then the second year I was like, okay, well he's gonna be healthy. He did it again. I'm like, no, I can't even ride
Yeah.
with him.
He was he had a torn ACL, right? Torn ACL, right? So he had a torn ACL. He came back and he wasn't the same.
Broke his back.
Yeah, nobody's ever the same after a torn ACL the first year. It always takes a year, and you always
Okay,
get
what about
other
the broken
injuries.
back?
Well, that goes with that. That makes sense because every time somebody comes back from torn ACL, they usually have other injuries. It's like one of those things. Well, I mean, I don't know how if his back isn't good, then he won't play. But if he's good to go this year and he's healthy, I want to see what he could do. Before I say, yeah, Calcaterra, I'm gonna say I want to see this kid one more time.
One more time.
One more. I need
Put all the
one more
chips
summer.
in one more time.
One more summer.
Oh my
One more.
Lord, Tyree Jackson. I wish he would too. What was it? That was only in what? The preseason when he was balling out? Or was it even
Yeah.
preseason? Or was it just training camp highlights?
No, it was preseason game. He was like, this dude's got talent.
He's about to take everybody's position. He might be better than her.
No, I didn't do that, but Goddard. No, I mean I
Goddard.
love Goddard, and I like Calcaterra. I think he's got ability. I just give me one more off season, one more training camp with this kid. Let me see what he does.
He says the Tyree Jackson ship has sailed.
I'm still holding on, dude. I want one more summer. One more.
You know who I wanted? I wanted the Georgia Bulldog type.
The
Wallace.
big kid,
I
Washington.
wanted that. That would have helped our run game out. That would
Yeah.
have helped our red zone out. That would have been nice to get him, man. The Eagles should have pulled the trigger. I would have took him over. I would take him over Ringo.
Man, the Ringo.
It's because we have so many corners that he could actually.
I think Ringo may convert to a safety.
You think that's what they're gonna do?
I think eventually, yeah, I think so. That's my prediction, anyways.
Because even like Josh Jobe, he was really good at Alabama, and he didn't
Yeah.
play last year.
That
What's
kid,
that other guy?
Eli
They moved.
Ricks, too. I want to see him play too.
What's that other dude that we picked up? We had drafted. And he didn't play the whole year. He was from LSU. They converted him to linebacker.
Oh yeah. I don't know if he's even on the roster though.
I think he's still there, right?
Is he still there? Then I thought they cut him. They might have brought him back and put him on the practice squad. I have to look.
What is his name? Why can't I remember his
I
name?
know who you're talking about,
But I was like, why'd you even make him a linebacker? That was dumb. He's not a
Yeah.
linebacker. He was a safety. And I think, that was the type of that's the kind of safety we need again. We need that B-dog, linebacker safety back there that just want to go head hunting every single play, just go to hit somebody, just hit somebody. He even could get a couple of flags on purpose, just to make his presence felt.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with the occasional flag to set the tone. You know what I mean? Yeah, I'm all for that.
Do you think Sidney Brown could be that guy?
Yeah, from what I've heard early on, it sounds like they really like him and he could. I think he's got a legitimate chance to start. I do, because I think I look at safety as the biggest question mark. Not question mark like they're weak but I don't know. We got a lot of moving parts there. So Blankenship showed some good signs last year. Let's see what he can do. But then you brought in Edmonds, and
I think Edmonds is starting for sure.
I think Edmonds starts, and then I think I think it's open. I think it's open competition from that point. So you have Edmonds, and then I see Sidney Brown and Blankenship fighting it out.
Kayvon,
Kayvon, he stinks.
What about Maddox at safety again?
No, I think Maddox is good in the slot. I wouldn't move him. I wouldn't move him, but I think Ringo
Greedy in the slot.
Yeah, Greedy might be a guy that you put in the slot, and I think Ringo, could be a guy too that you.
I feel like he's going to play a lot this year. For some
reason. Think this kid Eli Ricks too. I want to see this kid because he's a pretty big corner, and I've heard some good things about him. So it'll be interesting. But I think Sidney Brown actually has a chance to win the job. I think he's going to have a legitimate shot
over Blankenship.
Yeah, I think I think it's an open competition, but I think he's got a shot. And from everything we're hearing about him, he's all over the place.
What do you think about Reed? Do you think he's going to come back this year the same type of player, or do you think it was fool's gold last year?
I don't know. I'm kind of in the middle. I thought he showed some good things. I like the way he hits. I think he's a big hitter. But I got to see more.
Jacoby Stevens, that's his name.
Yeah, that's who it is.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think Reed, obviously they have him start right now because they got to give him his respect. But like you said, if Sidney Brown's the guy that they're talking about, if he's as excited as he seemed to be, I think he can definitely be the number one guy by the first game of the season. I think that's definitely a good possibility, man. But you don't think Kayvon's got a chance no more?
I think he stinks. You got my. I'm still in the Tyree Jackson ship, but man, that Kayvon Wallace ship sunk a long time ago. Sitting on the.
What about this guy? You want this guy?
Yes, I do. Yes, I've been making a big deal about him. He wanted to come to the Eagles before, right? He's 27 years old. Had 9.5 sacks last year on a bad team. And if you bring him in, and you could bring him in a few years, then he gives you a guy that can help replace Brandon Graham when he goes. So I think it would be good. I would like.
You starting him over Graham?
No, I would rotate him in. He wouldn't come in as a starter. He would come in as a depth piece. But he would be the guy that takes over the following year when Brandon Graham goes. I don't know how many more years Graham will be with us.
Any other free agents you want out there?
What I want? Yeah, DeAndre Hopkins is available.
You want him?
Yeah.
Do you think he would really, for one, take the check that we give him?
No, I don't think
he would take the role that we give him. That's
No,
basically
I
that'd be
don't. I
basically
don't.
D
I,
Hop.
I
I'm not
don't.
a starter no more. I'm
I
not a
don't
starter.
think he. I don't think he would. And I don't think we. And I don't think we need him. But I don't need a Ferrari. But if you give me a Ferrari, I'm going to take it. You know what I'm saying?
You got a
Like,
point.
like, okay, yeah, I don't need him, but that doesn't mean I can't use him. And
Like I
if
would want him if he was cool enough to be like, "Hey, Eagles, I'm chasing the ring." You know what
yeah,
I'm saying? Give me
well,
$9 million,
yeah.
and I'm cool with being number 3.
I
He
mean,
get a lot of targets too.
do I think he'll do this? Do I think the Eagles will take him? No, I don't think so. But I would do it because who's going to stop you? Like who's going to stop that offense?
But D
Where's
Hop
your
hasn't been
weakness?
D Hop for a while now. That's like a couple
Yeah,
years.
but that's what I'm saying. As a third, here's how it's got to go. DeAndre Hopkins right now is taking his time and he wants to get a big contract and get a lot of money. But
Mhm.
when that doesn't happen, he's going to say, "Okay, I'll do a 1-year deal and then prove that I still can play, and then I'll get paid." That's when you would have a chance to get him, and then you bring him in and you say, you come in, you play as a third receiver. You try to win championship. Now teams are going to think, look, DeAndre Hopkins is a team first guy. He's all about winning. And you make yourself more attractive to teams. That's what you got to do to sell them on it. But do I think it's – no, I think it's a pipe
And
dream.
have
I would
have
do
D
it.
Hop on a third corner.
Yeah, I mean, how do you –
That
I
would
just
be
don't know. I
that'd be
just
kind of
don't know
nice.
how you stop that offense. Like, it's
No.
already hard to stop now. But I wouldn't – I don't expect it to happen. I think Yannick is a lot more of possibility. But, I mean, listen, the Eagles have 4 roster spots open. They have 4 rosters. That's a
Four?
you give Howie Roseman 4 roster spots. That's dangerous. They're going to do something. I just don't know what, you know.
So I feel like the trade for Buda Baker's a possibility.
I think, I think it's possible.
That'd be nice too, because he's a
Yeah, sure.
proven guy.
Sure.
You know, what about a linebacker? Any of those trades for linebackers you want?
I don't want to trade for
Patrick
linebacker.
Queen.
I did want Patrick Queen initially, but I'm so high on the Kobe Dean, Morrow, and even that kid Ellis. I'm saying this. Let's give those linebackers a chance early. If we need a linebacker at the trade deadline, go get one. But I would rather try to get a safety or another wide receiver or even another defensive end. That's what I would. It would be one of those 3 positions for me.
Yeah, 'cause I do think what do you think N'Kobe Dean ceiling for the season is? Like, how good do you think Dean really is? Is he going to be an All Pro? Is he going to be a Pro Bowler? Is he just going to be good?
I think he has over 125 tackles.
Woo!
I think N'Kobe Dean might lead the team in tackles. I think I think he'll get snubbed from the Pro Bowl this year, and then he'll be Pro Bowlers for years and years to come. I'm very high on N'Kobe Dean. I think he's going to be really good.
Especially with his Georgia boys out there, playing alongside Nolan and them guys. It's gonna be nice. He's set up. All those guys are set up to succeed because they got their whole squad there together. Like they went to school together. They went to the same college together. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
These guys want the ball out, and I think that's going to be another level that most people won't even can't even quantify.
And I like Morrow too. Like he's been a kid that's getting better and better every year. So I think well, that's fair. I understand why he would, but I think he's going to be a player. I do
because Eric Allen Eric Wilson was that same way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Also, even like a Singleton for our team. Singleton had a lot of tackles. But he wasn't like a star linebacker.
But the thing with Eric Wilson that I remember was he was kind of on the other side of his career. Like he already had a down year too. Like I think this kid has gotten better. So I think he's going to be. I think
White last year.
I think he's as good as Kaiser White.
Kaiser played some good football for it. He has some down games.
I think this kid's going to be like around Kaiser White's level. I do.
Off the Eagles, but what do you think about this? Did you see this? They finally stopped their show. Did you watch the show?
I didn't watch it. I didn't watch it because I thought Skip Bayless was a moron. So I didn't watch it. I never watched it. I like Shannon Sharp, but I didn't. Skip Bayless with his Cowboys used to drive me nuts.
I just like hearing his way out takes about his Cowgirls. It's funny. How good do you think the Cowboys will be this year? They won 12 games last year. What did they win? They won 13 games.
I think the Cowboys will be a wild card team that'll go to the first round playoffs and probably lose. I think that I don't think the NFC conference is that good. So they could actually be the second or third best team in the conference. Like I think the Eagles are up here and then everybody else way below. Because the 49ers have a great roster, but who's their quarterback?
Yeah, who's the quarterback?
And then you look at
Purdy, actually. Yeah, Purdy's gonna be starting week 1.
I don't think he's I can't buy into Purdy right now. I'm sorry. I can't buy into him. So I don't
we destroyed him. You gonna hate on him now? He won how many games last year? He won like but he's 11, 12 games. Yeah, he just played against a real team. He got hurt.
He got destroyed. I think Dallas I don't think Dallas did enough to catch the Eagles. Like they still are not explosive enough offensively. The Giants did nothing on the outside. Like they need a wide receiver on the outside. They got Waller, but they got no wide receiver. So I don't think I think the Eagles are so much like I see it like this. All the main threats are in the AFC. And then the Eagles are kind of by themselves in the NFC. So I think the Eagles like the road to the Super Bowl for them is a lot easier than a lot of these other teams.
So who do you think is 2 and 3 then? If you're adding AFC teams,
what do you mean? If
overall team, like Eagles number 1 team in the league.
I think Chiefs won. Well, I'll give Chiefs the respect because they won the Super Bowl. So I'll say 1 Chiefs, 2 Eagles. Then I would say the Bengals. Bengals, Bills.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Miami.
Possibly Miami if Tua can stay healthy. The Chargers. Like it's all in the AFC. It's like so the AFC is going to be where the battles are going to take place. I think the Eagles, it's the Eagles, and then I think there's a drop, and it's 49ers, Dallas, and those guys.
49ers for no quarterback.
See, but the problem Dallas has is that they're not going to win the division, which means they're a playoff team that's going to be on the road. They got to go play in wherever because they're not going to be they're not going to have a home game because they're not a division winner. So they're done.
So we're going to be back-to-back division champs, baby.
Absolutely.
This year.
Yep.
It's the last time we did it.
It's absolutely going to happen.
We're running it back this year. That's why I wouldn't call it. This is the running backs. You know what I'm saying? The running back.
It's going to be Eagles Chiefs rematch. I really think it's going to be that.
It's logical, you know what I'm saying? Because like the AFC beat themselves up all the time. Chiefs have been consistent throughout that whole little stretch. Andy's a consistent guy. He can make it back to the playoffs for sure every single year. It's been like 11 years or something like that.
Yeah.
In the playoffs, something like that. So, yeah, they're going to be there in the thick of it. But, I say a sleeper team would probably be Lamar Jackson and Ravens. Now Lamar has receivers, like he got young ones, he got old ones, and if he really is that good, he thinks he is. He thinks he's the best quarterback in the league. I don't see that. I think he's probably top 10, but we're at in the 10. I'm saying the back half of the 10, and not to hate on him, but he's a great running quarterback for sure. Like they actually make plays for him with 2 fullbacks, and he go out there and run that football like that. So you know what you get when you get Lamar Jackson. His passing game's got better throughout his career, but he's been in the league a little bit now, so that's expected. And that's why I think Jalen's so much better than everybody because you already know what Patty is. And even Patty in the Super Bowl, our defense didn't play that great, and he didn't have that big of a game. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like a monster game.
And the thing with I would say with Lamar Jackson, I don't think they've ever given him good enough weapons. They've never given him anything close to the weapons Jalen Hurts has. You look at Jalen Hurts, his receivers. He's got great receivers, great tight end, best offensive line in football. Got a deep running back.
They drafted high receiver. They just didn't pan out. Like we got lucky when we drafted Devontae.
Right.
So not like they didn't try to get him there. They did. They drafted some of them.
And now they're bringing in Odell Beckham, but he's coming off injury. So you don't even know what he's going to be. If I was Baltimore, I would try to get DeAndre Hopkins. That's who I would go after. But I think you have to load up on when you look at teams like the Eagles and Chiefs. You have to be able to. This league is an offensive league. It's the way it's set up, you know. You don't like the old moniker, you know, hey, defense wins championships. I don't believe in that anymore. I think it's offense wins championships with opportunistic defenses. So you have to have defenses that take advantage of opportunities. Like the Eagles when we won a Super Bowl, we let over 500 yards passing. However, we were opportunistic with the fumble with Brandon Graham. That's what you have to do in today's football. So to me, when I look at teams like Dallas and I look at the Giants and I look at them, I go, I just don't think you have enough weapons to just keep up with the Eagles.
That's what it's about. You gotta have talent at like every position, you know, like not just normal talent, like star players, you know, even if they're not like Pro Bowlers, but they're legit bona fide players that got a name in a league type situations, like kind of like the NBA going into that, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like your team's got to be stacked. You're gonna win that Super Bowl, you know, like
that's it.
And I think it's cool, man. Like we got the best team in the league. I feel good about it, you know, and I hope to see some more awesome freaking things happen for this football team moving forward. You know, we got the best quarterback, the best offensive line, the best. You know, I think we're gonna have the best running back. I'm gonna go ahead and put that out there. We got the best receiver duel.
I love the running back. I think the running back's going to surprise a lot of people.
How many yards, Swift?
I got Swift 1,200 yards on the ground, and I think he's going to have about another 600 yards, 500 to 600 yards catching.
2,000?
Almost, yeah, somewhere around there. I think it'll be just underneath 2,000 total.
Dude, that'd be so awesome. So awesome, man. Especially with our offense. Like people think it's so complicated. It's not. It's just Jalen runs it so smooth. That's why he's able to run it at such a high efficiency level. It's not that complicated. It's like, oh, are you gonna come after me and I give it to somebody else, or you don't come after me and I'll take it myself? Like it's
and now that you add an element to the offense where you have a running back that you can dump it off to, that you can throw it to, how are you going to spy Jalen Hurts? And then you got, you know how many times I was live streaming games and I'm yelling like, dump it off to the running back. There's nobody 20 yards near him. Now you got that. Now you can do that. And that's the one thing we didn't do enough last year.
But do you think he didn't because he has AJ and Smitty? They're open downfield too. You want to dump off?
I also think they didn't think that Miles could catch the ball in the backfield.
Yeah. But I feel like he only had really one bad year catching. Like he only had one that's like
one good year. I think he only had one good year catching, and then it wasn't ever the same. There's rookie year he was good. Then it was like nothing after that.
Yeah, that's true.
This dude's got DeAndre Swift. I think they said like he's got like I think like 3 years in a row, something like that, of 50+ catches.
Yeah.
You know, I mean that's
3 years in a row.
Yeah.
That is big time, man. How many All-Pros do you think we got this year?
Everybody's an All-Pro.
22? 22 All-Pros this year?
Yeah. Well, I think you got your quarterbacks.
What, last year we did almost had everybody, right?
I think your quarterback's an All-Pro. I think you got 2 receivers All-Pro. I think you got tight end All-Pro. I think you got both your tackles and your center and your guard. Your left guard's All-Pro. I mean, dude, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, you go out and you get DeAndre Hopkins to play with that. Nobody's stopping you. There's no weaknesses.
D-Hop would be nice. Like I said, he would have to come in.
Yeah, God,
with the right.
He won't do it. He won't do it. He won't do it.
I think if he would pay him more than what we would pay him. That's just
because really, if you look at the only real questions or little holes on offense that you can talk about is, okay, you can say, all right, well, what about that right guard spot? We'll see about that. And then the other one is the slot wide receiver, the third wide receiver. Can Quez Watkins have a rebound year? That's going to be the question. I like Quez, and I'm not giving up on Quez either.
Me either.
You know,
yeah.
But
how do you like Ozzy though? Ojulari, that's his name.
Yeah.
What you seen from him so far?
He looked like he's going to be good competition. I would still like to bring in another receiver to compete with him.
Another one?
Yeah, have 3 guys battle it out. I would like that.
That'd be nice.
I don't know if they will or not. Remember, they got 4 roster spots still open, so you don't know.
How many receivers are out there? I wonder, like, what name type receiver would you be?
The only 2 guys I think
now
is DeAndre Hopkins and Jarvis Landry would be the only 2 that I can think.
The veteran, Landry still got hands.
Yeah, he still got hands.
You know, that might be a move. You know, he could be your third down receiver. Remember, like the Jason Avant back in the day,
right?
And if we need a first down, go to Landry. Boom.
Yeah, but if Quez could just rebound with his speed. I mean, that's just so important.
I think that's what people are sleeping on with him. They're like, oh, get
Yeah,
rid of him. They listen. There's not very many receivers in the league that fast. Period.
yeah,
Like you're not coaching that. I don't care how fast you think he's that fast, and you got to
yeah,
give him another chance. The one down year, he admitted his wrong. He wants to come back and play at a high level. He understands his role now. But I tell people don't get it. Like he was number 2 receiver on our team. You know what I'm
right.
saying? What 700 yards? Feeling good about his football career. Then you go get AJ Brown, and now you're like not even getting no catches a game, maybe 1 or 2 passes thrown to you all freaking game long. Of course
Yeah,
that's gonna, that
yeah,
happened. That's the same thing that happened to Rager when we got
yeah,
Smitty.
yeah.
And like these guys are young. They're cocky, they're confident. So yeah, let's play a game in their head.
They,
Like, go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say, I like Rager was mental though. Like he mentally wasn't strong enough to handle. I think Quez can. I think Quez is gonna. I think Quez is gonna rebound this year and surprise.
What about Julio? Rock says.
Not as a third receiver. He would be like a fourth receiver. Like if you want like
Ooh,
that possession, like I don't think Julio has much left.
yeah.
So like I think if you bring in Julio, he's like fourth behind Quez. But you could use him as a possession receiver.
I think Robert Woods is out there. Would you like a Woods type guy?
Isn't he been hurt? Like he's a lot of injuries though, right?
It was the Titans last year, I remember.
Julio, I wouldn't mind cheap. Like, come along for the ride. You know what I mean?
We'll
put you in red zone, third of 4, third of 5, red, those kind of positions. I could see that. I could see that.
What was his name again? The guy that didn't play all last year. Robert Quinn. That's who we had last year?
Yeah.
Looked like
The
somebody's
defensive
uncle.
end? Yeah. He's
He
somebody's
didn't know.
uncle.
Yeah, he's somebody's uncle. He didn't even play last year. So yeah, why not pick Julio? So even if he doesn't play that much, he's on a roster. Like it's a big name out there. And Julio's a big guy. Like when he's not hurt too, he's another one that he might not give 200-yard game like he used to, but he definitely, I think he can pop out a good like 70 to 100-yard game, maybe a couple touchdowns. He's still a big physical receiver. So yeah, man, I think I'm at a point where I just want the team to stay the same right now until we get through training camp. And maybe even one or two preseason games. Like let these young guys that we have that are so hungry fight. You know what I'm saying? Let them sharpen each other up, fight to the death. You know what I'm saying? Until you decide for sure, okay, both of you guys are doing good, but we need some upgrade from there. So now we go out and get somebody. But I think if you give some of these guys a chance, like we keep keeping a lot of these players for years, like they're not even playing. So what are we doing just for scout team? Like that they're just good enough to be scout team, or you can let some of these young guys you pick up and go and get in a football game. Like I like the fact that we're getting younger. That was the biggest difference from last year's Super Bowl team. The first Super Bowl and the way the team's built this year. We're younger now.
I agree.
We got a lot of experience. Jalen Hurts for 5 years, and a lot of those young cats are going to be there for the duration of that.
I know. It's
so
awesome.
We're going to be awesome for a while. But
we're not going anywhere. Our window just literally opened, so we aren't going anywhere. Yeah.
And a 5-year contract, how many Super Bowls for Jalen?
I think 2.
I can dig it. Like, if he does that, we're getting a Jalen Hurts statue outside Philadelphia.
Yeah, we're gonna get one. He's gonna go down. He's gonna go down as the greatest pick in Eagles franchise history when it's all said and done. Like I think like Randall Cunningham's my favorite quarterback.
Me too.
Play, but I think he could surpass him by the time his career's over. Like he's on a projection like of greatness. He's just got to go and do it now. You know what I mean? I have no doubt that Jalen Hurts would have won that Super Bowl if he had one more drive. I really, there's no doubt in my mind.
For me, he's 2 right now.
He's
behind
2.
Randall. But I think only as older guys like Randall.
I think.
A lot of people like McNabb.
Randall, I have Randall 1. I probably have Vic 2. I love Michael Vick. I was a big Michael.
All-time Eagles quarterback?
No, probably my second favorite quarterback. But Randall's not my favorite. He's my favorite quarterback in history of the NFL. He's my favorite quarterback ever to play. Yeah. I love Randall. Randall's like top 3 favorite players of all time.
So you saying Vic's better than McNabb?
My mind.
Carson Wentz that 1 year.
Listen, McNabb has the right to be considered the best franchise quarterback in the modern times. Now, I didn't see the other guys before, but just in my own personal opinion, I thought Vic was better.
I mean, that went to 5
I
NFC
know.
championships.
I know
Yeah.
McNabb did a lot, but he could never win.
He choked. He sold his soul for Tonky Campbell soup.
When McNabb said after the Bengals game, I didn't know there were ties in the NFL.
Oh
That
my
just
God.
that always rubbed me. That always bothered me. You know, it just
When he got rid of
bothered
T.O.
me, you know, and then the whole T.O. thing, like you couldn't work it out with Terrell Owens. Like
Right.
we were on the cusps of winning and being dominant for a year, and they couldn't even work it out. And I'm sorry, but Terrell Owens played on one leg, and he had one of the greatest Super Bowls ever.
Out.
Yeah, he should have won MVP in a loss, and we let that guy go because you couldn't work it out with him. It just always rubbed me the wrong way.
I feel like Vic, too, what do you call it? Self-centered.
Yeah, you know I think so too. And Vic was like, you know, everybody was against Vic because of, you know, he had just gotten out of jail. I wanted him to have another chance. I was happy that the Eagles gave him a chance. If you could take Michael Vick, the mature Michael Vick, and everything you learned from Andy Reid, and you put him in that young Vic in Atlanta, he might have
young big body.
He'd be the quarterback ever to play.
He would be for sure.
You know?
That young Vic was special. He like the first guy to get 2 $100 million contracts. Like that young Vic was like, the passing wasn't that great, but he still had a cannon for arm. He threw like the whole football.
I remember going to a game and I was in Jacksonville. And I had like 4th or 5th row seats in the back, and I never seen a guy that could throw 80 yards with the flick of his wrist.
Mm-hmm.
Like flick of his wrist, that ball was gone. It was impressive, man. Vic had all the talent in the world, but I just liked the way Vic handled himself, and I was a fan of Vic.
Yeah, I like Vic. Like I say, Randall, Hurts. I gotta give it to Donnie, and then Vic.
I'll go Randall, Vic, McNabb, and Hurts. With another good year, Hurts will jump McNabb.
All right, I can deal with that. Man. But all right, but I got you here for a while. I'm gonna get you out here. Go ahead.
Thank you,
and
man.
Let everybody know, what they can expect from the Philadelphia Eagles this year.
Well, if you're a team that's going to be playing against the Eagles like the Cowboys or Giants, you can expect pain. For the rest of us, I think we're going to be winning a lot of games, and I really think that I think we go back to the Super Bowl. I think we're in a great conference, and I think Jalen Hurts is going to go out, and I think he's going to win MVP. And I think we're going to be sitting there pretty, man. I think this is our year, and we got a lot. We got to go play Kansas City and get them back for what happened.
Are you gonna go to any games this year?
It depends. If I'm in Philly during Thanksgiving, Christmas, like during the holidays, I will. But otherwise, no. Yeah. Well, the only time I have a chance really to get back now is like during the holidays. So I always leave it open until like around October, and then I see what's kind of going on with everybody. But if I end up going like Thanksgiving or Christmas, then I will.
That'd be tight, man. That'd be tight. And I want to go to at least. I want to go to at least 2 this year. 2 more home games this year for sure. Cool. I know the playoffs probably gonna be way too expensive.
Where's the Super Bowl this year?
Isn't it Vegas?
If it's in Vegas and the Eagles go, I might go to that.
That'd be awesome.
That I might be able to do.
An epic Super Bowl. Epic Super Bowl. All right, guys. Thanks, guys, for joining us today, man. Shout out to the GOAT 500 for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
With me, man. And we definitely go talk again sometime throughout the season. Enjoy your summer. We're about to go into a little dry period here. We're gonna have nothing really to talk about. But the Eagles will be getting better. Howie's behind the scenes making things happen right now.
Absolutely.
So, fly, Eagles, fly. Till next time, this BG 500. We out.
Peace.
Through rain, sleet, and snow, the Eagles train to go.